Neil, how would you assess your team's performance today?
I thought we played well. I thought we dominated for large periods of the game. Miles better in what we've been working on and the messages and everything that we've been putting to the lads over the last couple of weeks. I thought they did it really well. If anything, we could have been a little bit better, a bit more clinical in the final third, delivered the ball better, delivered it earlier. But yeah, it's a really hard one today because we lose the game. But in terms of performance, I thought we were well on top, and I thought we played well.
Particularly in that first half, you dominated possession. You're up at something like 70% possession at one point. How were you not able to translate that into more opportunities?
Well, I think we had a fair few opportunities, and I think it just needed some more forward runs, which we spoke about. We needed to switch the ball quicker. We needed to deliver into the box quicker when it was coming out wide. And it's difficult, Flint's a big lad in the middle of the pitch, so you have to miss him out. He was tying up Matt Smith up a lot and stopping him getting on the ball. So that becomes difficult because we now need to get more runners from different areas going into the box. So I thought in terms of controlling the game, we did it really well. I think Mansfield are maybe a little bit fortunate. They took their chances well, but I think they would agree they're a bit fortunate today.
Yeah, they had 2 shots on target in the first half, and then they scored from both of them. Is that a bit frustrating for you?
Very frustrating. Keller Dunn in this league, he's a dangerous player when he's in the box. He only needs one chance to score, which he did today. And I thought up until that point we kept him relatively quiet. So yeah, that is frustrating. That's disappointing. One slight mistake on our behalf. But I felt we did enough to get back into the game. We've had enough chances. We had some clear-cut chances. I thought their keeper made 2 or 3 great saves that kept them in it. One from Matty London in the first half and from Conor McElhenney in the second half. And then Kelly and Maya had a great opportunity towards the end. The header's free in the box, probably took him by surprise a little bit. So we had chances to get back into the game.
A quick word on Matt Smith as well, who got his 13th league goal this season, equaling his best ever league tally. He's still going so well. Did you expect, did you think he'd be able to have a season like this again?
Well, I think it's always been if we can supply him the right balls, and what he's found in the last few games is they tie him. The centre backs have been tying him up. Against Barrow, 3 of them tied him up. You see in the second half today, Flint just followed him all around the pitch. So we have to try and find ways of making him a threat with that, getting man marked, and we also need to find ways of making other people be a threat inside that box, which we did. We brought Kelly on, we brought Conor Mack to receive in the top pockets at the edge of the box, and that's what the masters are at doing that. So we're finding different ways. It just, maybe we need a little bit of luck today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Neil, it felt like both goals came at a time when you were almost dominating. I mean, how frustrating was that?
Yeah, it's massively frustrating. I think some teams, they'll come and camp in and sit in and play on the counter attack, and when we are trying to break teams down, it's the hardest thing to do in football. So teams are set up and ready for that, and they've got the profiles, they've got the players that can cover the ground quickly, they're very athletic, which they were. You've seen that in the second half. They camped in the second half for a lot and broke, and probably got 1 or 2 chances off the back of our mistakes somewhere around the edge of their box. So yeah, really frustrating because they come at times when we were on top.
There seems to be a real sort of contrast between the form away from home and the form at home. So I think it's only 2 results here in the league. So is there any sort of explanation?
Yeah, I think when you go away, the onus is more on the home team. It's difficult for a home team to sit in and camp in their own half, especially when they've got their own crowd that's roaring behind them to get pressure or whatever it might be. Away from home, teams can do that more, and we found that here in the second half. They came, they sat off, they waited for the mistake, they broke on us, which they're really good at, and they've got really good players to be able to do that. So I think that comes into it. I think there's a little bit more space on away grounds as well. Probably the pitch is a little bit wider, a little bit bigger. That just gives us 3 or 4 yards more of space, which helps us. But we're not going to use that as an excuse.
Yeah, is there a way of almost redressing that mindset, almost making it feel like you're an away side when you're at home to try and combat that?
we try, you know. The problem is there's not as much space, so the teams don't have to be open as much, because when we play away, we will pull teams open, we will pull them apart, and it does leave gaps for us to run into or to pass into. The problem we find is there's not that much space to do that, so teams can come, they can play really narrow, they can camp in, and it's difficult to pull them players out of them positions because of the restrictions.
So, on the basis of today, there's still plenty of positives to take.
Yeah, I said that to the players. You know, it's a really strange one to take, because in terms of performance and on the ball, what we did, and defensively off the ball, I think in the second half, the amount of times where we put them under pressure and they just give us the ball back, we picked it back up on the halfway line and carried on the attack, was loads better, a massive improvement. So, you know, the result is what people will look at, and that is disappointing, and you know, we want to try and win every game, and if not, at least draw the game. But I think we can be pleased with the performance, the overall team performance, and take confidence from that.